Question 5 from the CSEC Mathematics, May 2022 past paper. A school nurse records the height h, right, of each of 150 students in class A. So you see these numbers over here, number of students, they add up to 150. Who was vaccinated? All right. The table below shows the information. Good. Complete the table below and use the information to calculate an estimate of the mean height of the students, giving your answer to one decimal place. We just copy this thing and put it over here. Increase the size. So, first of all, let's say you're to complete the table. Now, you can see here, what they want you to do is write the value for the midpoint and then f times x. You see this 60 and 80. The midpoint is 70 because it's really 60, 70, 80. So 70 is the midpoint, you have it here. 80, between 80 and 100 you have 90. So you have 90 here. Good. Then 110, 120. What's missing here? What's in the middle between 110 and 120? No, 100 and 120. Where I get 110 from? Is 110. You have 110 here. Good. So if you have 120 at one end and 140 at the other end, then you're leaving out 130, 130. So 130 should be here. Alright, good. Now, f times x. Number of students is f. Midpoint is x. So 4 times 70 is 280. 20 times 90 is 1800. 35 times 110 is 3850. So therefore, what you have here is 67 times 130, right? So you have 67 multiplied by 130. Let's get our calculator and work it out. 67 by 130 is how much? We work it out on paper, but no to that already. You should know how to work it out without calculator. But let's save some time and do the calculate. Use the calculator. 67 times 130 equals 8710. So we have 8,710. Alright, basically that. 8,710. Now, what else did they say you have to do? Use the information to calculate an estimate of the mean. So, we see that. What I want you to do, first of all, pause the video and work out the mean. So, go ahead and pause it. Now, work out the mean. Okay, you finish? What did you get for the mean? Let us see. First of all, let me say that the mean is the mean height. It's not these numbers you're going to use, right? These are not the numbers you're going to use to calculate the mean. Not at all. You cannot use these numbers because they are a range from one number to another, and you don't know exactly what this is. You see the midpoint here represents the range. 70, the midpoint 70 is used to represent the range from 60 to 80. So these are the numbers you're going to use. But then, let's look at something else. Know that some students make the mistake. This is a common mistake with this type of question. They say the mean is the total sum of all the values divided by number of values, right? Total sum of the values divided by the number of values that are there. And then they look at this and say, all right, it is 70 plus 90 plus 110 plus 130 plus 150 plus 170 divided by, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and divided by 6. Wrong. No, it's not that. Let's look at how you really should work it out. You see this 70 here that represents this value? It is saying 70 students. No, it is saying 4 students. Right? It's 4. There are 4 students with height between 60 and 70. That's what it is saying. Now, since this 70 represents the 60 to 70 range, then what it means is that there are 4 students that has this representation, the 70 centimeter range. Alright? That's what's happening. Let me just check on something here. Okay, good. Alright. So, that is what's happening. So, what you're supposed to do is this. First of all, let's look at what's happening here before we go directly to working it out. If you were to line out all of these numbers, remember, first of all, the number of values is going to be the number of values. What you're going to divide by is, where is it? Oh, the first part of it says 150. I'm thinking it was here. So the number of values is 150. You see that? If you add up number of students, when you add up all of these, 4 plus 20 plus 35 plus 67 plus 20 plus 4, you get 150. That is what you're going to divide by. So there are 150 of them. If you should line out all the values and add them up, you would have 150 values, because you would have 4 70s. So you would have 70 plus 70 plus 70 plus 70 plus. Then you would have 20, 90. So you have 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, and go on 20 of them. Then you'd have 110, 35. Then you have 130, 67. I'm mixing it up. You would have 470. You would have 20, 90. Then you'd have 35, 110 centimeter height. Then you have 67 of 130 centimeter height. Then when you write out all 67 of them, you would have 20, 150 centimeter height. Then you would have 4, 170. If you line them up, right? So you'd have a total of 150 50 numbers to add. Now, fortunately, you don't really need to add 150 numbers, because guess what? If you have 70 plus 70 plus 70 plus 70, 4 70s, you might as well just multiply the 70 by 4 and shorten it. Instead of saying 70 plus 70 plus 70 plus 70 equals 280. Just say 70 times 4 gives you 280. But the thing is, if you're going to do the same thing to the 90, you'd be in trouble. Because you'd have 20 90s lying out, adding up 20 90s. But you don't have to do that. Just multiply 20 by 90 and get, that was done already, you'd get 1800. So, since all of these are multiplied already, to calculate the mean, what you'd have to do is this. You'd have to say 280 plus 1800. This 1800 here plus what? 3850. Alright? If you had done it the wrong way before, you could pause the video and redo it like this. Continue the work like this and see what you get. Alright, you did that? So, let's continue. Plus 8710 plus 3000 plus 680. See that? All over. Over what? 150. So, let me put here bar x. Bar x represents mean. So, bar x equal. Alright, let us get our calculator and work it out. So, we have 280 plus, and you have 1800 plus, you have 3850 plus, and you have 8710 plus, then you have 3000 plus, then you have 680 equal 18,320. So you have 18,320 divided by 150. All of that equates to what now? Let's see. So our calculator again. 18,320 divided by 150 equals 122.13 centimeters. 122.13 cm. So that is the mean height to 2 decimal places. Right? No, to 1 decimal place it said. So it's 122.1 centimeter. So let's just write it up here. 122.1 centimeter. Good. So that's the answer for that part. Let's see what else they say here. Alright, so they say here, now let me just copy it and put it over here, paste. Let's drag it down. Now, what they're saying is that in class B, so that's a different class. Remember, this was class A. What we did a while ago was for class A. They say in class B, the height of a student, the mean height of a student is 123.5 centimeter, and the standard deviation is 29.87. All right, let's just write that down. So class B, the mean height, so bar x, is 123.5 centimeters. I won't bother to write the same here because I don't want too many things crowding the writing here. The standard deviation is 29.87. So they use sigma for standard deviation. Alright, what is it now? For class A, the standard deviation. Alright. Class A, the standard deviation is lowercase sigma, Greek letter. Alright. Represents the standard deviation in that case. The standard deviation is, what do they say? 21.38. And I think they would want the mean. So let's look back at what the mean is again. 122.1. So it is 122.1. All right. Comment on the distribution of the heights of the students in both class A and class B. So you're going to write it out in English. Now what you could say here is, what you can say is the mean height for class A is lower than for class B. Well, we're going to look. I think they mainly want the standard deviation. What you can say here is the spread, the variation, or class A has a more stable or less varied range of heights. The range of heights for class A is, what you'd say, is narrower, has a narrower range of heights compared to class B. Because the thing is, remember, the standard deviation tells you how much all the values spread. Right? Remember that they really want to see if you know what the standard deviation means. Right? If you have, for example, some values 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, the standard deviation here would be 0 because there's no variation. If you have 5, 6, 5, 4, 5, the standard deviation here is low. I don't know what it is, let's call it low. But if you have 5, 10, 1, 30, 3, you have a lot of variation in this case. Remember, the standard deviation for this part means you're swinging from 5 up to 6, back to 5, then you swing down to 4, back up to 5. There's not much in terms of swing. But with this one now, you swing from 5 all the way up to 10, then way down to 1, then all the way to 30, then down to 3. You have a lot of swing in terms of the values. You have a lot of a wider range, wide variation. So you have a high standard deviation. The standard deviation would be high. All right. So let's go back to this thing now. You would say class A has a narrower range of values, right? while class B has a wider range of values, right? Has a wider range of values. Now, you could say narrower variation instead of range. Let's say variation because range means the highest minus the smallest. So don't use the word range. Variation. Alright. Or you could say smaller variation, wider variation. Right? In addition, you also say that the average students in class A are shorter than in class B, but the more important part that we would be looking for is what you know about the standard deviation. So you say in class A you have a narrower range of values than in class B, right? So you put it in your own words, but you have a smaller standard deviation. Smaller standard deviation means the numbers don't vary that much. You could also say less variation. That's another word you could use. Less variation than less variation than class B. Or you could say class B has more variation, or they vary over a wider range, right, than class A. However you want to put it. The important thing is that you show them that you know what the values mean when you talk about standard deviation. Alright, that was part B. Part C. Alright, we'll do part C in another video.